just attending Lessenburg, and there was a lady that stopped by my house, knocked on the door, and she said she saw kittens underneath my house. If you were okay for them to come out and take them out, so maybe give me a call, that'd be great. Thanks.
I'm the only full-time officer in the department. It's a quiet town, but given all the responsibilities, you stay very busy. Don't expect a full-time 24-hour, 7 days a week department. I can only do so much. I'm putting on my other old man glasses now. I'm putting on my cheetah ones. Oh yeah, look at these. These are a little bit stronger. Perfect. I have 3 part-time officers that work for me. 2 out of the 3 of the part-time officers work full-time at other departments, so they come over here to make a little extra money. Then my one other part-time officer is a full-time farmer.
Brian Karsten has been on the force for 32 years, the whole time working in small towns. His department is one of 2 departments in Iowa with a single full-time officer. He says in recent years, finding new officers has been a challenge.
It's tough to get the younger generation interested in a small town. Most of the small towns, like the size of myself, 1,000 population, I don't see the younger officers, the newer officers coming into the small towns. I really don't.
About 74 miles away, Sheriff Greg Graver is also feeling the pressure of being short-staffed.
We have 24-hour coverage, so we always have somebody on the street. A lot of time that means there's only one on the street.
Greg has 10 deputies to cover all of Jones County.
Jones County has roughly just under 21,000 for its population. The Sheriff's Office serves roughly 14,000 people. We have about 850 miles of secondary county-owned roads. We have 4 state highways that also come through. State patrol, we don't have. We pretty much take care of everything that goes on within our county. Good morning, Jill. Thank you.
A core problem, he says, is hiring.
In the past, it would be pretty typical that you would have 50 or 60 apps for one deputy position. This spring, we actually had 2 positions, and we had 10 people show up to testing. By the time we got through of everybody that was eligible to continue through the process, we only had 4 applicants. The other thing you run into is you're asking people to work weekends, you're asking them to work late shifts, you're asking them to work holidays. A lot of us have families, and so is it worth the time, is it worth the money that you're giving up for your family? Right now the pay is still not enough to draw people in.
Greg says the starting wage for a deputy is typically about $25 an hour. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average salary of a police and sheriff's patrol officer in the U.S. is about $65,000. In eastern Iowa, it falls between around $52,000 and $60,600. Police shortages are a trend across the country. A Department of Justice report shows the total number of sworn officers nationwide is in decline, down by about 23,000 since 2013. And a recent survey shows applications for open positions in police departments have also been dropping.
I remember when I was a kid, you loved officers. You were like, hey, those guys are awesome. I want to get in their car. I want a sticker. It's lost now.
34-year-old Tim Miller was hired for a deputy position in Jones County earlier this year, one of 5 applicants. He says the pressure of being a rookie on a small team is unique.
Especially being new, I feel like I'm more of a hindrance to the team, not a positive enforcement, because I'm training with somebody, which then in turn, shortens the staff the next day, or we could be down a guy and I can't fill that spot. Initially, being on my own, you're just more comfortable, more fluent in everything you do, but when you get a call like a domestic and potentially had weapons involved, reality sets in real quick. When you're by yourself, the biggest thing is think over what you're going to do before you get there. If something bad happened, you're 15 to 20 minutes away from any sort of help. 15 to 20 minutes could be life and death, or the difference between you walking out of there or crawling out of there, a situation.
According to an FBI report, there are less than 2 officers per 1,000 residents in Iowa.
Being a small department, you do have to be a jack of all trades. You have to be a great traffic, so you have to be able to know your motor vehicle law. Then it comes to like a burglary or theft. We can't just take the report and say, hey, we're going to hand you over to the investigation unit. We are the investigation unit. We are the arson unit. We're the medical unit. So you have to be diligent and efficient in everything you do. Daniel! Sheriff's office!
We do the best we can with the staff that we have, and a lot of times that means myself or the chief deputy going out and working the road to try to help that.
Greg's wife, Dawn, is a police officer in the city of Monticello, Iowa. She says the workload often takes a toll on a person.
You're going from call to call to call, and you have no relief. So there are days that you don't get dinner, you don't get a bathroom break. It is busy, busy, busy. Our phone rings 24 hours a day. Greg is a workaholic. He sometimes starts his day at 7 in the morning and will not get home till 8 or 9 at night. You miss things that your kids are involved in, so that is a big sacrifice. It puts a large stress on the family.
You sign up for those stresses. A lot of these stresses you sign up for. But then those other stresses that you don't understand, like being on your own, the fear of overcoming your own fears. Because you have to get out of the vehicle, you have to make contact. There's just more things that we go through physically and emotionally, because when someone tells me I hate law enforcement, I hate you, it does some damage to wear and tear emotionally, but you can't show that. But in the end, it wears and tears on you.
Greg and his team are on their way to conduct a drug search with the help of a few officers from other departments.
It's 6:45 in the morning. We're getting ready to do a high-risk narcotics warrant. We've been working the case for several months. We've had undercover people in there buying methamphetamine, hitting them early in the morning. You're trying to catch them asleep when they're kind of not aware of what's going on, or you kind of use the element of surprise. I don't sleep very good the night before because you just kind of know most of the time things go as planned, which you always worry about. You're kind of going into an unknown situation. So I don't sleep very well.
You guys go ahead and stand up and get ready. Police search warrant! Street! Come on, come outside! Come outside, right now! Outside! Hurry up! Contact! Pull him out! I got him.
A raid like this requires most staffers on Greg's team, and few are left to answer emergency calls.
We've got this place secure right now. We do have one in custody, and so the second phase of this will be bringing more manpower in of our staff to do a real good search to try to locate any illegal drugs or weapons or that sort of thing, and I'm expecting that'll take several hours. What ends up happening is it may end up making for longer response times. There's a potential that some people are waiting 2 or 3 hours for a deputy to arrive. Do we like the delay? No. Is it most practical? Absolutely not. But is it the situation that we are currently in today? It is. And so that's where the difficulty is you're always jockeying to make sure that you have your number one priority, which is just providing coverage to the public. When they need us, when they call, they are confident in the fact that somebody will be there to help them.
I just enjoy getting in the vehicle and just cruising the counties. I like watching the corn grow. I love to see deer going across the road, or I love driving by one of the small towns and seeing the Friday night lights. A lot of people think I'm nuts just because I got into law enforcement. I want to be part of that pushback that we are good people. You can trust us. We are the cool guys. It's an image that has to be changed, and I want to be part of that revelation.
Back in Princeton, Brian is about to start his night shift on Saturday.
It can be lonely. I mean, because most of your time you're patrolling by yourself. And I stop at the convenience store and talk to the clerks and get my social requirements that way through the night. Well, I'll probably see you around 11. Yep. All right, see ya. Getting out there and talking to people, they're more apt to bring up the smaller issues. And I'm a firm believer if you take care of the smaller issues, they don't become a bigger issue and blossom into a major problem.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.